Welcome back to it. This is your Feel Good Breakfast Show, Expresso, right here on S3. And we are going to give you some very valuable information right now. Now, with less than 0.5% of South Africans saving money today, is saving even realistic for South Africans in 2023? And the times that we live in now, that is the question. Inflation rates and significant declining job opportunities means that fewer South Africans have any hope of being able to save. Now, this morning, DUEPOINT founder and senior executive Brendan Benfield is back to talk about how everyone can become income savers in South Africa today. There is a way. Ben, lovely to have you back, my friend. Saving, it's a topic that comes up in many conversations in many South African households. And when it comes to saving, we tend to think it's only the wealthy that can save. Is this a kind of a true statement, accurate statement, or can anybody actually start saving?
Ewan, the reality is actually at the moment only the wealthy are saving. There are so many circumstances economically that are playing against South Africans. It's making it impossible for them to save. 100 years ago, you could start a career, spend your whole life building that career, and because inflation was so flat and your cost of living was so low, you could save throughout your career and pension yourself at the end. That's an impossibility today. Jobs don't last lifetimes anymore, and inflation is so crazy you can't save anymore. The only way that you can now be considered wealthy and begin to save is if you control your own income.
Yeah, see, and that is the difficult part, because every single cent that we do owe or do, that comes our way is there to plug another hole, or then you go about, you see it's not enough. We incur more debt. Now, for the average South Africans that would like to save, but they cannot. What are some of the options available?
Well, you're going to hear me saying it the whole morning. Control is the critical thing. What South Africans often think is if they can get a better job, they'll be able to save. But a better job still doesn't put you in control. When you have a job, somebody else tells you how much you're going to earn, whether you're going to get an increase, whether you're still hired the next day. People that sell their time, we were talking just right now, Ewan. When you sell your time, it's very limited and anything can derail it. You can get sick, a car accident, COVID can strike. You don't have control over your income. If you want to start saving, you've got to make some decisions about stepping away from what you know and into something that gives you the ability to get ahead of your expenditure.
It's quite funny the way you say control, because it is actually just that. You need to take control, because we do see that. It's like, if only I can get a job that pays better. You're going to get that job that pays better, but it's almost automatic if you don't have the control that your lifestyle adjusts to what you are earning. And at the end of the day, you'll be at the same position where you were 5 months ago.
No, absolutely.
And that is a tough one. It's a tricky one. But South Africans, most of them, we just want a job. All right. But what can we do? We don't necessarily have the necessary skill set or the opportunities. And I think that's also a massive problem facing South Africans.
People are afraid. When we tell them you've got to get self-employed if you're going to get in control of your income, they get terrified, because naturally there's a whole lot of risks, cost, expertise, bureaucracy, all of these sorts of things that keep people away from becoming self-employed. In South Africa today, it's statistically impossible to succeed at a small or medium-sized business. So many fail. So we had to sit down 10 years ago and work out how to solve this for South Africans. And that's what we did. We've removed at DUEPOINT the main stumbling blocks, the main hurdles towards getting South Africans self-employed and in control of their income again. The only cost now at DUEPOINT to become self-employed, the risk you take, is your time and your effort. Those are what we ask of you. But we give you control, something you just don't get in a job, no matter how good the job.
Yeah, you see, you speak about becoming a wealth engineer with DUEPOINT. Now, please unpack that for us. How can the average South African become a wealth engineer? Because we tend to think that wealth is only for the wealthy.
Yeah, well, a wealth engineer is just the term that we give to South Africans that contract with us and start to build their income with us. By becoming a wealth engineer at DUEPOINT, you've picked up this tool that we've created, you've plugged into a system that now helps you to build an income with us in our business. And this, in effect, gives you that self-employment control. It builds for you an asset, and all of a sudden, you're starting to break the poverty cycle in your life and the life of your family. Because what you build with us will be handed to your spouse and your children when you pass away one day, and they'll be able to build on what you built with us. That's why we called you a wealth engineer. You're actually building, which you were never doing with your traditional job. You were never doing when you were selling your time, and you certainly weren't doing when you were speculating.
Now, look, I know people might be listening and think like, okay, but hang on a minute, This is not something that you step into and all of a sudden you see those things. It's a process, as I understand. What is the average process of something like this once contracting and signing up with DUEPOINT?
Yeah. All right, well, it's easy enough to join with us. Just talk to one of the tens of thousands of wealth engineers around the country at the moment, or alternatively, jump onto our website, www.DUEPOINT.net, and it'll be able to get you plugged in and you'll be able to start with us. We have a comprehensive training program where we take you from step one, I've never done anything like this before, all the way through to an absolute expert. Our training is world-class. We always joke about this. The reason we say it's world-class, because we've actually seen our training being used overseas to train people. You get that all included in your system with us at DUEPOINT. You don't have to be worried that you don't have the expertise. It's one of the hurdles we removed with DUEPOINT.
So you just got to take that first step, Brendan. Thank you very much. Now, with their primary objective to offer South Africans an affordable opportunity to build a real income for themselves, DUEPOINT is offering a genuine and viable alternative to traditional employment for South Africans who want that economic future of their own design. Now, if, you can visit DUEPOINT, like Brendan said, DUEPOINT.net today to learn more and become a wealth engineer to take back control of your income today. We'll be right back. Don't get anywhere. We've got lots more to get through with Brendan.
Mense vandag na hulle eie situasies kyk, dan besef hulle, as jy tyd het, het jy nie geld nie, en as jy geld het, het jy nie tyd nie. Hierdie besigheid bied vir my die geleentheid om tyd en geld gelyk saam met my familie te hê en die belangrike dinge in die lewe te kan doen. Elke persoon kan aangryp en kan gebruik om sy eie besigheidsgeleentheid te begin.